that was formed back in 1999 and has been in operation for the last 10 years with a population in terms of membership for members to 1,350. Basically, the association was formed with the urge and the level of advocacy because of the kind of problems that we were experiencing then. But then within the growth of time, certain development areas also came in, and these are issues of capacity building, one. The need of scholarship program to give a chance to the orphans and vulnerable children also a chance to learn in the private local schools because they love to learn in those schools. And networking and collaboration, of course, that's why we are here, those schools, because they love to learn in those schools. And networking and collaboration, of course, that's why we are here. That's something that has brought us together. So all the same, I may not have time to explain in detail all the development areas, but it covers all those segments that I've mentioned. Hyderabad in India, it's just almost the same thing. But then I think operations and regulations that are affecting them is cutting across the globe. There's nowhere. The problems and successes that are experienced in Kenya are the same that are experienced in Ghana. When you go to Nigeria, it's the same. When you go to Uganda, it's the same thing. When you go to when you come to Hyderabad in India, it's just almost the same thing. But then I think in terms of learning and in terms of curriculum, there's a big difference. I've never in my life attended such kind of a unique symposium that is critically looking at a unique operation in a society and focusing basically on the education that is provided for the low-cost schools. And I think one important thing that this symposium has done to me and maybe to other people that are present in this meeting for the last 2 days is to come together, explore areas of operations, and also learn on certain areas where people had doubts from the specific operators. And it has given us an opportunity to explain to people that we are not separating for bad thing. We are just anything that can be corrected, and we need to form a formidable force so that we can be able to solve our problems. And it has also given us a unique forum to meet with lenders and also meet with people who are interested in private local schools for us to share together our successes and our problems and how they can be able to come in and support. And one important thing I think that has come out of this seminar is that you can grow without looking for money. You can grow from ideas. You go back home, you share what you learn from others, and then your position of level will be taken from point A to point B. I'm taking back home a story to tell my members that if you work harder, you achieve more. And you need, with a little bit of financial discipline, you can achieve your success in the school that you're operating. Because any person who is operating any school has an idea of getting the best when he's doing his business. And that interaction, I think I got it from visiting the school that I went in yesterday. It's a big success to most of the small schools that are growing up to be encouraged to grow up.
In the environment I work in Ghana, I would be cautious if I was a private school to get too involved with the government. We have one issue, it's called the capitation grant, and the private schools are looking to get funding from the government. They begin to, I believe, lose some independence at that point. At the same time, the government does have different offers to the private schools to provide some teacher training, to provide some books and materials. I think they should. You can develop a partnership between the government and the private schools, but I think they should tread carefully if they want to remain independent. Investment capital is required for these schools at some point if they're going to grow beyond a certain limit. After thinking about it for a couple of days and talking to people here, I think there's three components to providing success in this sector. The first would be providing access to capital, which would be through a donor could assist with loan guarantees could assist in putting partners together, assisting microfinance organizations to get involved. So we have the financing component. Then we have a component developing better relationships with governments so they better understand affordable private schools. There's if there's a contentious atmosphere between them, I think that's harmful for both. So to try to build an atmosphere within the Ministry of Education or the Education Service and the government so they have a better understanding of the private schools. And then the third would be the development of a center for affordable private schools, where you can be provide a resource center at little or no cost to private schools that are starting up, expanding, where they can go for some assistance. If they needed loans, you can tell them where the loans were. It probably should be somewhat of a cost share, but donors could absorb a lot of the costs, certainly for operating the centers, while probably some of the training should be done on a cost share basis. I think that those are probably the three components that a donor would want to get involved in. So it would be finance, government relations, and then technical assistance. When I first approached the Ghana Education Service or the Ministry of Education and spoke to them about it, there was a contentious feeling between the Ghana Education Service and the private schools, or the concept of private schools being that they're only for rich children. Since that time, it's changed. They've talked about ways that they can increase their participation or relationships with the private schools. There seems to be opportunities to enhance the image of the private schools, enhance their effectiveness, and maybe enhance their coverage in Ghana. So we hope that we can take advantage of that. Now, USAID as an organization, we have one pilot program in the world for affordable private schools, and it's in Ghana. We have two mandates. Our first, of course, is our bilateral agreement with the host country that we're working with, and it's part relationship building, and it's providing technical assistance to ensure a better state-run education system, which is something that we're going to continue doing. But we have a second role, and it's to increase the human capacity of the people that live in that host country that you're working in. And you have to be open to all different opportunities, and we see the affordable private schools as an opportunity to assist in that. It was a very effective symposium. Now, everybody in this room, though, they have to go back and they have to be able to marshal their resources and try to expand the work that they do. So they'll all have their own challenges. I guess I was the only donor in the room. There's other, financing corporations in the room, and there's other people that represent different educational organizations, and they all have their own challenges in expanding their work and getting it done. But this, I think, certainly brought a lot of people together, and I don't know if it's been done before, but it was very successful in this. I think I've met a lot of people that would want to be partners in the type of center that I talk about. I think I brought away a better framework in my own mind. There's three parts to developing a program in a country. And I think that was the most significant thing, was the organizing that framework in my head.